Black Friday.
It's Black Friday, and something just happened.
Well, you know what's nice about the desert?
What?
Things don't rust.
No, things don't rust.
So what does that mean?
Well, that's funny that you said rust, because the legislative here in New Mexico took pains not to mention rust directly because the name of...
We all know what they're we know what you guys are citing.
Yeah, so article state unwavering on film incentives after set fatality.
Yeah.
So we know that there was an issue that happened on set. We don't know that much. They're still under investigation, but it has to do with the famous actor.
Alec Baldwin.
Yes. And
someone putting a live round in the pistol.
Yeah, and he killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins and wounded a director. He was ready to receive a state rebate, but are unlikely to ever collect after filming was halted. So let's explain this so that people understand why is Netflix here? Why is Paramount Pictures here? Why is everyone coming here and filming in New Mexico?
Yeah, they're coming to film here in New Mexico.
It's not because the mountains are so beautiful.
No, they're incentivizing them to film here. It's cheap. So when you go to film somewhere, it's expensive. You got to bring people there. You got to pay them to get there.
Right.
You got to pay them while they're there. The equipment, if you're bringing it across borders, you have to have special bonds in place to prove to countries or other individuals that you're not going to be selling it for some sort of gain, outside of their tax systems. So
right.
We incentivize people to come here and do their business in New Mexico through a tax incentive for filming. But if that doesn't go through, you don't get your incentive. So it's essentially a wash at that point.
Yes, and New Mexico offers a rebate of between 25% and 35% of, this is known as in-state spending. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that they put that in there because that means they have to spend it.
Well, that means you hire the people that are local here.
Yes.
A lot of those jobs for people that film movies, if anyone doesn't know, they're temporary things. Mm-hmm. They'll call you up and be like, oh, we got a movie coming on. And you could be off for months, and they're like, oh, now I got to drive.
It's interesting, though. I heard that people are getting a loophole. They're setting LLCs up here and then having the employee be under the LLC that's local.
Yeah.
And so
because it's showing it's local spend.
If you have a actor in Los Angeles, you bring him out here, you put him under this LLC.
Correct.
That's in New Mexico. But the taxes are happening. Those taxes that get taken out of that payroll for that guy in LA there's state of New Mexico taxes in that.
Yeah.
And this was the crazy part. So 25 to 35% of in-state spending for video production that helps filmmakers large and small underwrite their work. So this is crazy. The credits towards film productions were estimated $100 million for the year ending in June 2021. So $109 million. Mm-hmm. Last year there was $52 million. So this is doubled.
It's doubled in size, which is fantastic. Like Finch, I think it was the new Tom Hanks film. It's on Apple TV. It was filmed here.
Yes.
They had it filmed up at Shiprock.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they said here, so the whole incident with Alec Baldwin, we know that filming was halted. Yeah. The big thing with this is the safety lapses and the labor disputes that are happening. And so the sheriff's Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office is the one that's investigating this. That happened in October 21st, and I guess it was on a Bonanza Creek Ranch outside of Santa Fe.
Where is Bonanza Creek Ranch?
Yeah. But this is going to be an issue. You're going to start seeing issues with safety and stuff like that.
Yeah, that means they're going to crack down, and honestly, nobody wants a 2.0 of this. 13 miles southwest of Santa Fe. It's a mining town.
Oh, that's cool. So it's just
it's right near the Cerrillos Hills. Got it.
And so to demonstrate long-term commitments to New Mexico, Netflix and NBC Universal signed a 10-year contract and secured a film partner status that lifts the cap on annual production rebates.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, here's what they're saying. You're coming in as a big business, and it's like, I will guarantee you we're going to stay here for a minimum 10 years, but you have to double down on how much tax rebate you're going to give us.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing because they were saying that it employs more than 8,000 people, and that's a conservative amount.
No, that's fantastic, right? So you have 8,000 that are being employed. You've been down by Kirtland Air Force Base where they have all the big film studios and stuff like that, like Netflix. And, on top of not only just that employment, there's other revenue that comes with it over time. So there's royalties gained on that. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of long-term stuff that can be beneficial to the point of having that here in the state.
Yeah, and I think that's something that people need to consider. They said there's $624 million being spent in the United States. You know, if we got 109 million of that, and this becomes a hub, and people are comfortable coming to Albuquerque, that's only going to create more revenue, more industries, more jobs.
Well, you know, it's a shame, but like Microsoft started here back in the day.
Yes,
over in Rio Rancho, I think, and they left. You know, they went to Seattle because that's where his family was. But it's really, if you can do it right and you're a good operator, you can make it sing here.
Yes.
Like, because people are slow.
Yes.
But if you can figure out how to wiggle your way through stuff, like understand the nuances of the culture here, you can make it happen. Intel, they're refurbing their whole plant. They got big screens outside of it now in Rio Rancho. 800 more jobs, you know. That's what people are looking for.
That's what people are looking for. Well, Intel's had the break of the century because, and we'll do an episode on that, because now they want to have chips in the United States because they solved the issue with
having chips overseas
and then having one place make them and then trying to get them.
They have that huge manufacturing plant right over here. But, you know, if I think about it, Jason, having the people here doing the work it's like most people work in the labs. It's a separate type of like job safety.
Right.
The government's paying for them. But the private sector was lacking here. And now the private sector is starting to grow, which is going to be nice because they can also adopt those technologies that come out of the labs that the labs are trying to commercialize. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, that's perfect because now you have technology meeting with the film industry.
Yes.
And then that's going to filter out throughout the whole community.
So, for instance, you had that guy on that was dealing with film compression.
Yes.
All right, he worked at the labs. It's a special type of algorithm, and then it later left the labs, and that's being used publicly now. How is it that you can stream so much information, video data, have it compress, but not degrade the quality of it when you're watching it?
That's the amazing part. That's what his company does.
So we're going to see, these benefits, they're going to play off of one another, and it's only a matter of time. Now we're starting to see that private industry grow, so watch out.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to ABQPodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.